Hi, I'm Seth the Leafy with Seth the Leafy Massage. This is my second installment in dealing with stress and how I personally have managed to deal with my own stress throughout my life. Now, this method is something I've used, I don't know, maybe since I was a teenager. I'm going to say about 15, although I didn't realize that this is something I was using to deal with stress at the time. In fact, I would say I didn't even have this figured out, that this was useful for this, until I was about 30 years old. What I'm going to tell you might be a little difficult, because essentially I'm calling this one Boring is Good. Now hold on. Reading's a good thing, and reading for pleasure is a good thing, and enjoyment and relaxation. But the problem with doing anything for relaxation or enjoyment is that it doesn't take much effort on your brain to enjoy something. And so it's easy for your mind to just go back to what it was doing before, or even stay stressed out while you're doing it. Maybe you might escape for a little while. Even alcohol can do that, or any other vice, really. But when you put your mind to something that your brain has to use a lot of juice to do, what ends up happening is your brain can't do that and concentrate on what's stressing you out and what's giving you anxiety. So find a task. Maybe find something on the internet or a book. And you could do, there's an endless source of things you can do to exercise your mind. Now, I've told this method to people before. They always are skeptical. I don't know how many people go on to do it. And I'm just telling you what works for me, and I think would work for just about anybody. Pick something. The more tedious, the better. You could study classical Latin. You could memorize 15 of the Egyptian hieroglyphs and learn how to write them accurately. And maybe look up scholarly debate as to what they mean and what the debates have been over time. You could choose to learn to count in sexagesimal numbers, 60 base. It's not important. Learn the months and the days of the Jacobin calendar, the 10-day week. Study the reproductive process of ants. Learn the Bible study the Bible in the original Greek and Hebrew. Not in any of these cases are you expected to master these things. This is just about 10-15 minutes a day, longer if you can endure it, to focus on these to the point that your mind absorbs it, so that when you walk away, you'll have actually learned some of it. And when you don't learn it all, if you don't learn it all, you probably won't, especially if you try to learn to count in 60 base. You're not supposed to. Just make sure you absorb some of it and keep going back. It's not important that these might be useful exercises. And pick any one. It's just got to be, tedious. And after that's done, over time, the idea here is that your brain will have to use its reasoning faculties, the parts up here, to focus on, to use all of its juice, all of its energy memorizing the stuff, because you really have to be putting in effort to memorize things to work, to learn them to work. Don't overwhelm yourself. Just pick something small. It's kind of like the corner of the room analogy I used. It wasn't an analogy. I actually said clean the corner of the room. Make sure to get it thoroughly. Pick a tiny section of this thing and learn it thoroughly. So learning the 10 days of the Jacobin week is too much. Learn 2 of them. Whatever. But as long as you absorb that 15 minutes to do that, and do that once a day. If that's too much, do it every other day. Trust me on this. Try it out. You have nothing to lose. I know. When I start a video with boring is good, I know I take a chance at losing you. But again, you want to be less stressed out. I'm telling you this works. I wish you the best. I am confident that this would be useful for anybody. Success is your proof. And feel free to put anything in the comments section too. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. For anybody who cares to try this out. I'm Seth the Leafy with Seth the Leafy Massage.